Deepfakes are a form of synthetic media that use artificial intelligence to produce highly realistic fake videos. Deepfakes are extremely effective weapons of disinformation, capable of both undermining trust in institutions and elections and inciting political violence. By the end of 2020, virtually undetectable deepfakes will be a reality. Each person you see on this screen doesn't actually exist. They're deepfakes, highly realistic videos generated by the artificial intelligence technique deep learning, hence the name deepfake. While video manipulation has been possible for decades, it has often been easily detectable, time-consuming, and expensive. The power and peril of current deepfake technologies are that they lower the cost of disinformation. To produce a convincing fake video of someone today, all one needs are a few photographs and an internet connection. DARPA's Media Forensics program is currently working to get ahead of deepfakes. If successful, the Metaphor platform will be able to automatically detect media manipulations and explain how these manipulations were done. Social media and technology companies such as Google, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and DESA are also making strides to detect and combat deepfakes. Despite these impressive strides, because deepfake algorithms are self-correcting, deepfake detection will always lag behind deepfake creation. Deepfakes have a wide array of applications, both on and off the battlefield. Weaponized deepfake attacks can influence adversary decision-making in one of two ways: by instigating a crisis, forcing adversaries to involve in quick, uncertain decision-making that benefits the United States, or by altering the information available during a crisis, modifying adversaries' strategic calculus in a way that benefits the United States. In coercive diplomacy, deepfakes can replace conventional attacks as a limited use of force, compelling adversaries without military escalation. To achieve tactical objectives or to intensify the pain of an offensive strategy, deepfakes can be used in conjunction with conventional warfare. Similar to traditional forms of propaganda, deepfakes can be used to weaken existing domestic support for enemy ruling parties. Finally, weaponizing deepfakes can enhance existing US deepfake detection capabilities by improving our understanding of how these weapons are made and used. The development and use of weaponized deepfake technology are not without risk. Weaponized deepfake attacks are inflammatory by design. Consequently, they're likely to leak out of targeted audiences and into public discourse. Consequently, deepfakes can spark unintended political violence contrary to US interests. If targets attribute a deepfake attack to the United States, they can then use the deepfake as anti-American propaganda, undermining US soft power, public diplomacy, and claims of fact. If the United States is found responsible for weaponizing deepfakes, it will be challenging for the US to prove that any future videos it releases are legitimate. The United States would also struggle to justify deepfake non-proliferation, because in weaponizing, the US will have set a precedent that weaponized deepfake attacks are acceptable. Finally, deepfake proliferation has the potential to corrode public trust in democratic and financial institutions by making election influence operations and disinformation campaigns more sophisticated. This being said, deepfakes are a powerful tool for the United States to incorporate into its arsenal. Deepfake attacks are offense dominant, meaning they are easier to use than defend against. They're also fast acting, making them attractive for time-sensitive operations. Additionally, as weaponized deepfakes are an emerging technology, they have no clear escalation thresholds, meaning their use does not intensify conflict the way conventional military operations, such as troop mobilization or aerial strikes, do. Deepfake non-proliferation difficulties are inevitable. Because deepfake technology is freely available online, it will likely proliferate irrespective of whether the United States offensively develops or uses this technology. The costs and risks of weaponizing deepfakes, however, are not inevitable. The United States can mitigate the effects of unintended political violence and backfire by hardening targets before an attack, suppressing a target's internet connection following an attack, and micro-targeting the delivery of self-destructing deepfakes to key individuals. To circumvent video verification difficulties, the United States can encourage third parties, such as the International Fact-Checking Network, to develop robust video authentication capabilities. Given the dangers associated with deepfakes, the United States should use this technology only during combat operations against state and non-state adversaries. Against state actors, weaponized deepfakes can be used within military deceptions or influence operations. Deepfakes can be used to deceive an enemy about the location and intention of US forces, similar to how dummy tanks were used to deceive the Axis powers prior to the 1944 Normandy invasion. In influence operations, deepfakes could be used to spark military infighting by sowing discontent against a regime. Against non-state actors, deepfakes can be used within counterinsurgency operations or counterterrorism operations. Within such operations, weaponized deepfakes can be used to shape public perceptions of insurgent and terrorist groups. Absent war, the United States should weaponize deepfakes to improve its existing deepfake detection capabilities. Because the algorithms that generate deepfakes continuously learn to more effectively replicate the appearance of reality, the best defense against a weaponized deepfake attack is a cutting-edge offense. Detection algorithms derived from past deepfake attacks will fail to defend against sophisticated future attacks. Ultimately, the United States should develop weaponized deepfake technology as a capability to deny, defeat, or defend against any adversary that seeks to harm US national interests, even if this capability is never used. Though the development and use of weaponized deepfake technology are not without risk, the United States can actively mitigate the costs associated with weaponization. As a military tool, deepfakes can provide novel ways to intimidate and sabotage adversaries, disrupt enemy lines of communication, and influence adversary decision-making. As a weapon of disinformation, deepfakes can compel adversaries to comply with US demands, manipulate public opinion to shape political events, and destabilize political regimes. If the United States forgoes weaponization, it will deny itself use of a potent weapon, and both its offensive and defensive capabilities will fall behind. Thank you.